this is Light and Bone Tarot, and you are letting me do a reading for you. Thank you very much. Today we are doing a reading for signs they have moved on, and then we're also going to look and see if there are any signs that you too are moving on. So this might be a good reading if you are trying to get over someone and just move on. Okay, let's see what we have for you here. We have 4 crystal cards. We have selenite, sunstone, rhodonite, and phantom quartz. And I am going to try and zoom in on these ever so slightly to kind of give a close-up here. And yeah, you can see we have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. So I hope that gives you a good idea. And all right, here we go. Let's get right into it. Thank you. So pile 1, you are here for a reading of signs that they have moved on. And you have picked crystal card selenite. I think that's what this stuff is, actually. Yeah, I just haven't seen it with a little bit of yellow, but very kind of simple and pretty and pared down. And this is called Clear the Clutter. So thank you for picking. We are going to get into your reading because this was meant for you. Okay, let me think how I want to start this. Signs they have moved on. This is really going to be a reading about someone else, and then a little bit about you as well. But yeah, we want to know. I want to know where they are right now. What's going on with them right now? Okay, so reading for your person right now. Let's find out what's going on with them. Okay, so whenever I see the star, I think it's a positive thing. And that can be hard at times to see the star if it's a reading about someone that maybe you're not with. And in the weirdest way, we want to think that things aren't going amazing for them. But I'm going to say, based on this top line, things are going okay for them. Maybe better than okay. When I see the star, it makes me think that they're hopeful. So we'll just say they're hopeful. The Magician means that they definitely have a power. They definitely are capable right now of maybe making what they want come to be. And then the 5 of Wands, the 5 of Swords is typically like a feeling of defeat. Just looking at like a love reading and speaking for like the partner you're thinking of right now, I would say that they probably reached a point where they didn't think they were getting anywhere, and they are now looking like they're kind of exploring new horizons. They are exploring other options. They're really trying to think about what they want. And I do think they're at a point where they're ready to go after it, because they have dealt with elements of defeat, which is exhausting and not fun. And I don't know if that, if you know what these feelings of defeat are or not, but I get the feeling that they are probably done with these feelings of defeat. And if there was any other card other than the star here, I would say that they aren't ready to move on and they're dealing with this right now. But the star gives me that sense like they're in this state of there's hope, there's a light. It's like that go outside and wish on a star feeling. You finally kind of have a purpose for yourself. You know what you want and you're ready to actively go after it. And then the Magician card is such a positive notion. It's like, it's card number 1. It's the beginning of like, okay, this magic, this journey, it really sets off here. And I think they're kind of going to start over. They're going to look and see what they want now. Moving forward, they're going to go after that. And I do think the sense of defeat, this feeling that these thoughts they have that are probably not self-serving, causing them stress, causing them anxiety, making them feel less than, they really, really want to move on from this. This doesn't mean that this is you they're moving on from, but if your dynamic was, something that is over or has been defeated in a way, and if you feel like this is describing your situation, it might be, but this is the very beginning of the reading, and we have more time to really figure out the actual signs that they're moving on. But I would say the star and the Magician is a pretty powerful sign that they are at least ready to stop the chaos, whatever has been happening, they're looking for something new. Again, that doesn't mean it's a person. It just means a new situation, a new dynamic, a new way of thinking. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit more just about them right now. Where are they at? Okay, so the Hermit, they definitely have some major cards behind them. Okay, when I see this Three of Pentacles, and the longer I read tarot in this way, I see it as like they're building something. And this also is the card to make me think there's a hope behind it. There's that sense of starting something, of more than just thinking about it, but like actually doing it. So they probably are really starting, not just thinking about what they want to do, but starting to change something. So if, let's say, you guys ended things and they were in this slump, and they were depressed, or they were, didn't get off their couch, or they were just drinking too much, whatever it is, I think they are stopping that harmful repetition. And I think they're actually now moving in the right direction. And I like a lot to see the Hermit card, because this tells me that they're thinking, they're consciously thinking about what they want and what they need and what actually serves them. I really get the impression that they are working hard at probably being a good person right now. And this could be, they might want to be the kind of person that would work in the relationship with you. It doesn't mean, none of this has to be separate of you right now, or separate of you guys ever getting back together or staying together, or whatever your dynamic is. But I do think that they're going through a change. They are sort of like metamorphosizing, if that's even a word. And it is definitely for the better. It's to make them a better person. They are going to be a better person at the end of this. And they're doing something. They're no longer just sitting around. They are absolutely in action. But they're also, they're working on themselves. And this is a card of self-work, work. This is definitely a card of someone who consciously takes the time. Sorry, my cat opened the door. Who consciously takes the time and the effort to change situations, to just take the time to look within. And the light on the Hermit makes you think like they're not doing it in a selfish way. They're doing it in a way that it has to be done, and they want the best outcome for everyone. So they're soul searching right now. And I think that is always, always a good thing. If you have a partner that you wish you were with and you're not right now, and you find out they're soul searching, I think that's a great, great phase. Because I don't think it means they're moving on necessarily. It means they're working on themselves, and that could absolutely be the piece that's needed if you guys were to get back together. I'm gonna pull some oracle cards and then work down from those, because I want to know a little bit about how they feel about you. Okay. So nourish the sacred feminine, and your soul shines. So as far as how they feel about you, I would say this is definitely, this is positive. This is like, they are, have they moved on? I don't know. This would make me think, no, they haven't moved on. They may have moved on with positive progress that was needed, but I don't know that they've moved on from you, because nourish the sacred feminine makes me think one or two things. They are either working on the feminine parts of themselves that need to be brought out or fine-tuned a little bit, like maybe the sensitivity chip, the communication, the parts of their life that, the feminine parts, the parts that are nurturing and loving and kind of like caressing, like those parts, they can either be bringing out in themselves, and this is probably a conversation you guys had, or they can be really thinking on all these things about you that they want want back and missed out on, and now they don't have, and that could be your sacred feminine aspects. So either way you take this card, if this is someone you care about and want to be with, I think this is a very, very positive notion right here. And then your soul shines is definitely, it's very self-explanatory. There's not even much to say about it, except that they would think very highly of you and think of you in a way that like you're shining. And it is funny because this is a shining star, and there's a star right here, and even though that might seem kind of cheesy to point that out, or kind of like easy to, there's a star in the Magician. So maybe you really are like, you're a star for them. Then there's this, what they're wishing for, what they want, what they might be goaling towards, the magic they would work towards, all the internal thought, it might actually be to get back together with you right now, or to not move on from you, to maybe work with you on something. I don't see a sign right now that they've moved on. I see the sign that they've moved forward, and they're definitely getting stronger, and they're probably doing a lot of things that were needed. But if anything, I feel like they're working towards having something potentially with you, and I can't speak for them, but that is the message I'm seeing in the cards so far. So yeah, I think that's a very positive read. So let's get a little bit more, I want to know how they feel about you right now. What are they thinking about you? So I think they're feeling, excuse me. I think they're feeling like a gentle way towards you. I see the Daughter of Cups here, and I think that they'd probably love to have like a very sweet conversation with you. They'd love to start maybe opening up the lines of communication with you. I get the feeling that maybe right now they are thinking about how they would talk to you, what the conversation would look like, how that would go. And I'm only saying this, I wouldn't give you that hope if I didn't think the rest of this reading was about them working on themselves. And it does seem like they hold you in such a high regard that if I see these cards down here, make me think like it's about you. I don't think they're actually moving on. I would say if anything, they're moving forward, but not on, which I would think, is a good thing. So yes, I can see that you guys would have some pretty sweet communications coming up. Just that kind of like, that curiosity, that kind of like the kind of conversations that mimic the first time you sat down and talked, or the first week you got to know each other, or whatever, like just those very fun, flirtatious, exciting conversations. I can see some of that coming up. And the Father of Pentacles is a very, like, I think all the fathers are protective. I say that for all of them. And I mean that for all of them. Again, we have another star, so that's kind of wild. I see the Father of Pentacles here as being someone who really, this would be someone who would want to be in a relationship. This would be someone who would want to set that unit, that kind of like family unit, even if it's just the two of you, or maybe there are other people, kids or whatever involved. But it makes me think of someone who would be like ready for a relationship, ready to kind of commit, someone who knows what they want, someone who isn't messing around. This isn't like a silly person. This isn't someone who goes out to the bars every night. Like, this is someone who knows what they want and who works towards it. It literally is someone who works towards it. And up here, we kind of see the groundwork for this. We see someone who's starting to make changes and to do the work. Whatever that work is, I see that here. And I see this with intention. They could have wished whatever, but they wanted this to happen. They literally like willed this change in their life. And then with the Magician, I just think like, yes, they've thought about what they want long enough. They've actively gone towards it. They've kind of like manifested it. They've wished for it. They've made it happen. And now they're doing it. They're taking all their tools and they're actually doing it. And that really is like a Father of Pentacles energy. And I think you're a very big part of this. I think you're kind of like a driving force, or a bit of an inspiring factor behind this. And I hope I'm right, because that's a really cool, that would be very cool if that's the case. And then this last one, I say the darkest card on the table. It really isn't dark. It's just a little bit more of, I think isolation, we can say for this card. And I do think that right now they are continuing. They're still backing off. I don't know that you've necessarily heard from them. I don't get the feeling you guys are in contact, or you're communicating anywhere in the way that you were. I think you've definitely tapered back from that, and that things are probably a little stagnant. Maybe you're going through like a no contact period. I just don't think that you guys are, I think you both feel isolated. You feel isolated. They're isolating themselves. There's something about that here with this card, and that's fine, because this hermit, this inner work, they're going to have to come out of this phase. It's not for them to be pushed or nudged out of. This is for them to come to you when they're ready. That is also a message I'm getting, that this is they get to set the pace for this right now. This is their work, their journey. And if you are going to get back together, it would be like kind of when the timing really worked for both of you, but also very much for them. So far I don't see the signs that they've moved on, but I do see the signs that they're doing the work. Let's get a little bit about you. I want to know, what do you want? Yeah, what do you want? And we'll see if you're going to get it. Well, I mean, not quite that extremely, but I mean, just because it's not for me to say. But okay, so what do you want? I think, I mean, this is actually sweet, because down here the Lovers card came up right in the middle, and under the Father of Pentacles, under the Magician. I'm going to say that you really want this to work. You want this to be a relationship that works. I think right now you're putting a lot of thought into this. You are actually thinking, how, if it worked, what would it look like? How would this happen? I think you're probably taking a step back and isolating yourself as well, and really putting the thought into this. And if you're the High Priestess here, which I see you as, and they're the Hermit, that means you guys are you're both really taking the time that's needed to, I think, process whatever happened, wherever you're going, what you want, how you want this to work, how this relationship should function. I think you're both really thinking on this. And I see with this High Priestess card, I get the feeling that you're probably giving them a lot more space and time than you're comfortable with. Maybe the old you would have reached out to them by now, would have kind of nagged them a little bit, or texted them a little bit more, or something along those lines. And I think you've really done a good job of respecting their privacy, or just their time right now. Not so much privacy, but like their space. And I definitely think that is a message that they are getting loud and clear, and very much respect and like. And it's funny when I do readings that are based on other people, because I feel like I get very clear kind of messages about, I don't know, just the cards give me, it's like not without tremendous detail, but I really do feel that they like and appreciate that you have taken a step back, that you've let them have their space. And that's very cool, because it's not an easy thing to do. And then I also said it is going to be up to them. It's their time frame. If this is going to work, they're going to have to reach out to you. And I get that confirmed here with this High Priestess. And this is your time to really just think about things, think about what you want when they do come back. You'll know, the conversations you want to have, and you'll also have input on how you want things to change and the direction you want things to go. But I would say that that things look really strong right now. So, the point of this is, have they moved on? And I would say no. I would say they are definitely moving forward. They're thinking of you. They hold you in high regard. And I really think, based on these cards, if you continue to let them do their thing right now, whatever that is, I do think that you guys have a future, a chance. And I see that you really do want something with this person. And I think when the time is right, letting them know that, they might know it, but maybe rewording it in a ways you haven't before, or at least really expressing that, is going to be a nice message. I definitely think that it will be something to communicate and really like kick off that conversation. I think that would be a good thing for you. So I'm going to stop this here, because I think this is a really solid and beautiful message about, what's going on, and if they've moved on. And no, I don't think they have. And I really don't think you have either. So, I hope this works out the way you want it to, and I don't have an idea of time frame. I don't have those cards in front of me, or else I would do a time frame pull. But, if you have any comments, I'd love to hear them. Please, if you could like or subscribe or do anything to interact with this video, I'd very much appreciate it. But I really hope this finds you. And if you're watching this video, then it was meant to find you, and it really is your message. And I hope it makes you happy. So please let me know how this goes. And thank you so much. Really appreciate you watching. Hello, this is Light and Bone Tarot. Thank you so much for being here. We are doing a reading for signs they have moved on. And I think that's really just asking if they've moved on. Maybe they haven't. The last reading, they didn't move on. So we'll see. Maybe this one will also give that same message, or we'll get signs that they have. So whatever it is, I believe this is your reading. If you feel that way too, yeah, let's get into it. So this is Sunstone that you picked. It's a card. It's not an actual crystal, but it is lovely. And take pleasure in the things you do. That's the wording. I don't know much about the words that associate with this, but I do think this is your picture if you're here. So, okay, let's get into it. I am just going to start off because this is really a reading trying to read your person. So I want to know a little bit about them. I want to know where they are right now. Who are they? Where are they? Who are they? What's going on with them? Okay, so we have the Five of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm just going to go right off and say I do think that they either are or have been experiencing some I don't know, loss, you could say, some defeat. There's definitely something that I would say something has been bumming them out, and it could quite possibly be your relationship if it ended. I just think they're feeling a little bit of a weight from this. However, things do seem to be going probably better than you'd want to see in the first line if you're reading about an ex. It seems like financially and an overall happiness measure, they seem to be doing okay. Don't worry, this is going to be a long reading. It's not going to be about how amazing their lives are right now. I promise. Just we'll get through this first line and then we'll get a bigger picture, because this gives me hope that they're going through a little bit of a struggle at least. But no, this next card does say like things are actually things are good for them. They aren't. I don't think they're in this horrible way right now. In fact, I think, I don't know, maybe if when you guys were together or at some time before they had moved on, maybe they were working on business deals, maybe they're actually starting to close now, maybe they moved into the house they wanted or put an offer on, maybe they graduated from college, I don't know, but I definitely think things are clicking for them in more ways than one. This isn't necessarily like a love or relationship card, although it could have a slight notion towards that, but that's definitely not what I'm getting so far. But I will say again, and for the last time, that things are going good for them. So that does not mean they moved on though, and that might even be a good thing. Maybe you needed to see things start clicking in their life. Maybe they've literally stepped up their life since you guys have been together, because this was like a parameter you put on getting back together. And if that's the case, then yes, you should be very happy to see this. And don't forget, they're still not, you know, some aspects of their life are clicking, but this is the first card in this little section, and it definitely makes me think that they are they're feeling something. They're definitely in their feels. But this is a card of, I could just say, I could give this card a kindness, a charity, a giving. I think that in some ways they're in a good place mentally. Like, what do I mean? They're trying to be happy. Let's put it that way. Like, they're not, they're not bitter. They're not drinking themselves to death every night. They're not going out and like hate fucking a bunch of people. Like, they are literally, this tells me that they're trying to do the right thing. Okay. They're trying to like, I don't know. It could almost feel like I don't see that they're holding this like resentment or this anger. I think they have a lightness to them, believe it or not, even if they're very much aware of past feelings or whatever. I do think that they are. So this would tell me just this one line. If I had to say signs they've moved on, there could be signs they're moving on. There could also be signs, very much like the last reading, that they're moving forward, that they are, and moving forward could be exactly, like I said, the parameters you set for getting back together or for ever revisiting the idea of getting back together. Or this could be someone that you really hurt and you now have the message in a positive way that no, they're doing them, they're recovering. But I will say that it seems like their life hasn't right now. It's not unraveling. It's in a state of it's in a pretty good place. So I'm gonna get 2 more cards about where they are right now. Okay, so these are just the cards, and I'm just gonna read them. And well, okay, I don't want to say I hate anything because this is the reading. I asked where they are right now, and I got the Lover's card and the Ace of Cups. So this could be a very clear message that they have feelings or are in a relationship or starting a relationship with someone else. And if you were like me at a certain point in the last year, let's say, and you were looking at a reading about this and these cards got turned over, you'd probably stop right now because you're like, I don't even want to hear this. This is not what I'm here for. There are other ways you can interpret these cards, I'm sure of it. So I don't want to bum you out with this message, but I will say, if the topic is signs they've moved on, this is a very hard line that they have moved on. And I know you picked Sunstone, and I feel like that's a cherry stone, and this is not a cherry message. Or maybe it is. Maybe you really want to know they've moved on. And I hope that's why you're here. If that's the case, yes, I think they have found, it looks like they're happy. It looks like they're very happy. They haven't forgotten what possibly you guys have been through or all that drama or that hurt or that pain. But they are definitely is a weird word to say, but they are, from what I can see, absolutely moving on. And I think they are in a good place. Dare I say, I won't elaborate. Really, I'm not going to elaborate on just how good their place is. Okay, I could. These cards are here. All these cards are here to tell me that, but I'm not going to go into grave detail about just how loved up and happy they are right now, because you'll probably barf. But I will tell you that they've moved on. We're going to pull some more, but if you stop this reading right here, I don't blame you. I don't know what's going to come up. I'm going to say, okay, so I'm going to pull 2 oracle cards. I guess what's a message they want? Okay, this is going to be a message they want to, I don't know if, I'm trying to think what would I want in this situation. Here's the message they have for you, okay? Integrate your knowing, and you are living poetry. And I'm going to fill this in with some other cards. So this tells me they have absolutely no ill will or ill intent. They think very highly of you. They think you're absolutely incredible. They think you're wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit further with this. Integrate your knowing. Just don't stop this reading yet, okay? I'm just gonna talk about integrate your knowing. To me, this is a little bit of like a learn from the past, learn from your mistakes kind of thing. And then I'm gonna say, look, there's a chance, okay? There is a chance that this is how they feel about you, okay? There is a chance that this person literally has changed their life since whatever happened and you guys aren't together, since you're at a point where you want to know if they moved on. You probably aren't in communication with them. Maybe, if this comes under if you are living poetry comes under the Ace of Cups, it could be like, I got this flash when I put this down that made me think, wow, maybe they want something with you. Maybe they're in love with you. Maybe you're the person that they realize that they want to be with. Maybe you're the driving force or the inspiration behind this change. There's definitely a chance of that. I'm not going to rule that out. This top message implies there's somebody that they feel very strongly about, okay? And I don't even need to say anything more than that. It could be you. There's nothing to say it isn't. But I will say messages they want you to know that they care very much about you. They think you're wonderful and inspiring even, which is what I would get from this. And that I think there's something they want. It's like they want you to learn a lesson from all this. They definitely want you to have a takeaway from everything that's been happening. They've clearly done a lot of growth and they want that for you too. But in a very positive way. There's nothing like, I'm so happy and I hope you're great too kind of message. Like, I hate that. That's not what this is. This is a, I don't know. I really want this reading to go like they've discovered that you're the one that they really want to be with and they're going to actively pursue that. But I'm going to say this reading is split down the middle. And I think your gut will tell you which one of these messages it is. And I'm going to keep reading and just go with your gut. And yeah, okay, I want to get 3 more cards about how they feel about you, okay? Because we got to get this silly Father of Pentacles. There's nothing silly about it, actually. It's the opposite of silly, but it comes up all the time. It kind of makes me crazy, but it's funny because it comes up for a reason. Like this is the card. Okay. How they feel about you. So Ace of Swords, I mean, aces are always potential, new beginnings, clarity. So I'm going to say, they see things clearly. Okay. And with this Father of Pentacle cards next to seeing things clearly with these rainbow theme, I actually think that they are taking a very mature stance in life right now, which would bring them to the Ten of Pentacles, right? It would take the Father of Pentacles to achieve this kind of Ten of Pentacles power, right? This is the pinnacle of the Pentacles. I love saying that. And it is very much like it's a kingly energy. It is a powerful, secure, know your worth, know what you're doing, be confident kind of energy. So this might be a very new thing for them. Maybe when you guys were together, they were, drinking too much or not working hard enough or not taking their job seriously or spending more time with their friends or never home. Like there's thousands, endless situations, but I think they've really, really matured. They've really changed, and I hope they've changed for you if you want them to and not somebody else. But if they did change for someone else, if this top line is truly about them moving on for someone else, then it wasn't your person. I mean, that's not going to sit with you right now, but I'm sure I'm not the only person to say that, but it's just not your person then. And you have nothing to worry about because it's not your person. So there's that. But let's say it is. Let's say in your gut, you know that this is a message for you. Then I would say absolutely this person has changed. And I would say that there is almost like a celebration that could be had. Like there's something worth celebrating. There's something worth noting. Like there is... this is a great line for how they feel about you. It's almost like they could even feel protective about you. This line could be saying they want something fresh and new and exciting with you, and they want to do it right, and they want to celebrate this, and they want to not hide it and just shout to the world like we're together now, and this is what our dynamic looks like. That's one scenario if we're going on a good note here. If they have moved on and they're achieving this with someone else, and that's really just for your gut to tell you, then they're saying, look, they really care about you. They absolutely want the best for you. They do not have hard feelings. They wish you the best. They wish you everything they have right now. They want these new beginnings for you. They want you to have your fresh start. They want you to have all the happiness and joy and celebration that they have right now. What a shitty reading. But again, there's nothing, this is a gut check. And since I've said that it can go either way, I can't turn it because I really do feel that. I feel that if you were brought to this pile, I honestly feel like maybe you were brought here because you do need that hard kick to the gut to be like, seriously, they've moved on. Like this is, I hate to say it, your friends have told you, or it's right in front of you. You've seen it on Instagram. Like this is the message. Okay. Or it can be really saying like, look, they've clearly put the work in. They have changed. They are steady. They're secure. They are giving you a message now that no, they haven't moved on and this is what they want with you. But two very different messages that only you can determine. Either way, they think very highly of you. Either way, they think you're just amazing. And either way, they want you to know that what you guys went through, there's a big takeaway. There's something to be learned from it on both sides. I know, and this is kind of like you're not getting back together message. Either way, both these messages track. And this is we are getting back together. You're amazing. We got to get back together. Or, hey, look, I'm really sorry. But I hope you got something out of this. I know there's a laugh in the back of my throat, but it's not a laugh. It's real. Okay, let's do a little bit more here and then we won't beat a dead horse over this. Let's help you with your gut check, okay? Because we're going to get something for you here. we're going to do an oracle card. Get back to elemental. This just, to me, this is like get back to your roots, get back to you, find what makes you happy, just do a check like with yourself. What do you want? What serves you? And we're going to put down 2 cards for if you're not together, if you don't get back together, here's some hope. And if you do get back together, here's some hope. Okay. Or if they haven't moved on, here's hope. And if they have moved on, oh my God, I'm so sorry. If they have moved on the right, if they have not moved on the left. So if they have moved on, here's some information. Okay. Okay. And then if they haven't moved on, here's some information. So let's go with this. If they have moved on, I see this Judgment card. Okay. And I also see the 8 of Wands, which is like, I don't know. It's like new messages, news. It does make me think of new messages. I know some people can call it travel. I'm just trying to think. It's like a travel and a news card. But it also is new potential and new beginnings. Okay. And then the Judgment is like, this is a look within card. This is, you need to figure out what you want card. So I'm going to say this, if they have moved on, okay, the message here is that you really, that they care about you, that they want you to be happy, safe, secure. They want everything for you. But they definitely are telling you that there's a takeaway from all this that you probably know about that they want you to sit with. There's a lesson to be learned out of this. And I think with that, there is this kind of look within, and it is probably, it's equal parts don't beat yourself up. And equal parts like recognize your part in it. So I'm not saying it's all your fault at all in any way, but there's something about like just see yourself clearly. Just take it all in, really sit with it, and look at your inner voice. Listen to your inner voice. I don't think you can look at it, and just see how it feels. This is very much like a card of kind of like higher learning, higher understanding. And then maybe take a trip, maybe travel if you can, maybe put yourself in a position to allow something exciting to happen to you. This is the message I'm getting if they have moved on. Like sit with yourself and your feelings a little bit. That's fine. Don't beat yourself up at all. Do not blame yourself too heavily. Do not let this become a thing that tears you apart. And also maybe have some fun. I think there's some travel or some news in your future. So this is very, very hopeful. It's the best we can ask for in this situation. If your gut brings you over here and you really don't think they moved on, and let me tell you, if you don't think they've moved on, that means that they are like all in and they're, going to call and tell you they love you. So like these are 2 big extremes. If you don't think you're here, then just go with the they moved on side of things. But let's say you really think that you could see this message reading positively towards you, then I would say that there's I'm trying to think here. Definitely an urge to communicate. Definitely you will be doing, I don't think you're going to get back together right away, actually. I don't think this is like I said you're going to get a call that they're madly in love with you. I don't see things going right back to where they were instantly. This is a card of like, not moving on, but there's an element of, there's change with this card. There's doing things differently. There's changing patterns. There's like it's kind of also like a standing your ground card. It's like, it implies that what you once knew probably isn't, things are changing. I think what you recognized and what you knew to be certain probably isn't anymore, and you're going to have to kind of keep your wits about you. There's going to be a new flow that you're going to have to adjust to. Things are just going to be done differently. But I do think there's going to be a lot of communication through this. I think there's going to be that reintroduction of like just getting to know each other, and I definitely think there's going to be romance. This is a good and very hopeful card to imply that, like, yes, the romance, the love, the intimacy, it will be there. But I just think that you need to realize that you're just gonna have to stand your ground a little bit, and however that plays out, And this would be a whole new reading because this would be a big deal if you guys got back together. I mean, you came here wanting to know if they moved on, probably hoping they didn't, thinking they did. And if this is your gut telling you they didn't, then I think you have a very good thing coming, but it's just going to function a little bit differently, and it might make you a little uncomfortable. It might, because you're probably going to have to change too, in other words. And the stand your ground could be like, don't change too much about yourself. Don't put up with too much. It's just a little bit of a warning, but it definitely tells me that the care and the love and the romance is there. And then again, just to reiterate, if they have moved on and we have the signs that they have, then they're happy in their own thing right now. And I honestly think just the way how highly they feel towards you, I think you're someone that can handle this message. I really do. You can handle it much better than I can. I lost it up here, but you can handle it. You clearly are someone that they regard so highly. They know you can handle a little constructive criticism. They know you can handle the conflict or that moment of being told, look within, get the lesson out of this. You can handle that, which means you're very, very strong and capable. And I think that's amazing. I think you're wonderful. And either way, whichever direction this goes, it's definitely going somewhere. So good for you. And I mean that not in a good for you send off, a really good for you. Either way, this is great. So this was 2 readings in one because we were just split down the middle here. And look at the sword. We were split. Let me know. I would love to know, really. No one lets me know anything. So if you do, I'll be very happy. But yeah, please subscribe, comment, whatever you feel comfortable doing, please do. And come back again and listen again. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Hello, this is Light and Bone Tarot, and you are here for a reading of signs. Oh my God. Signs they have moved on. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. I'm really enjoying this topic. I love reading for other people, your other people, but people you're thinking about. That's my favorite. And when it surrounds relationships, it really always gets to me. So yes, this is signs they have moved on. Maybe they haven't moved on, or maybe you moved on. We're looking into all that. So you're here for Rhodonite. I know there's a glare right where I want to show you this, but it's a very pretty card. Beautiful crystal in real life. I couldn't tell you, but the card's striking, so I get why you picked it. Find a way to forgive is the topic. Not the topic. It's the caption that goes along with Rhodonite. So we'll see. We'll see if you can find a way to forgive. Okay, let's get right into this. I'm just going to get a little bit about them. I want to see who they are, where they're at right now. I want to get a feeling for them. So Daughter of Pentacles. Son of Pentacles, very interesting. And Justice. Okay. So I just right off the bat, it's funny, sometimes I don't even have to think about it. I get this feeling that they are progressing, that they are really working on themselves. They are actively putting the work in. And I get that because there's this progression with the Pentacles. And this means, the Pentacles to me, it's of the 4 suits, everyone has each one for the most part has something you could put towards love. But the Pentacles to me, there's it's that potential. It's that intentional, wanting to set a foundation, wanting to build something, wanting to watch growth, set roots. There's something very intentional about getting to this point where you'd be, in a relationship. And so to see the Daughter of Pentacles and then the Son of Pentacles, I actually think they're working their way through this, which means the end is the King of Pentacles, obviously. And that would be someone who is really, really grounded, really focused, really not out partying, not crazy, not dating 100 people, not on every dating app. This is someone who knows what they want, goes after it, doesn't fuck around, really is just, the person you want to settle down with. That is the Father of Pentacles, and that's the energy there. So I really, really like that, to see this kind of progression. And then with Justice, I just feel they're just being more judicious with everything, with their time, with their resources, which is very much a Pentacles thing. This is not going out and blowing money. This is not being impulsive or compulsive with anything, really. This is the Pentacles are so balanced, to the point that they're almost boring, but just the progression makes it not boring. It shows that they're just really evolving through it. Getting stuck on one Pentacle energy it can be a little like, oh gosh, like where's the edge, you know? But no, I really like, because this is intentional. They are working through something. Does it mean they've moved on? It can mean right now that they are working on themselves so that they can move on. But I would say no. I think they're kind of, I feel like you're a bit of a driving force behind this. You're the reason they want to be better. That's literally just what I felt in this moment. But we're going to get more, because it's quick to imply that. But for whatever reason, they're putting this growth in, and they're being so judicious with things that I don't think they would have, oh my goodness, put much energy. It's this candle. It literally gets in my throat, and it's paraffin oil, but oh my God. Okay. So let's turn over a couple more cards. Let's get a little bit more about them, and see. Okay. So we've got the Magician and the Six of Pentacles. So I think they're inspired. I think they really are. They're looking for the magic. They are, they're at a point where they know they want to change, and they're doing it. They're changing. They are taking every tool in their toolbox, and they're making something happen. You know, and they can be doing this through cutting everything out and doing everything differently, letting new things in. It's just a very much like, I feel like everything they did one way before, they're doing it differently now. If they were spending too much money on eating out, they're not anymore. If they were drinking too much, they're not anymore. If they were working too hard, they're now putting that energy towards something else. Like, I just think, but in an aim to strike a balance, not in a compulsive opposite kind of way, but in a very much like intentional, just really looking to find the balance that I don't really think they had before. I think this is kind of like a new direction for them. And yeah, and just with the Justice, I go back to it. It's like that really, they're actively trying to do the right thing and be the right person. They're really working on this. And I like that. I really like that. Sorry, I just lost my mind for a second. Hold on. Okay. So, so we have the Six of Pentacles here, and I see this as, I don't know, this is like just a reminder that they're kind, that they're good. There's such a goodness to this card, and it is a Pentacle card and a Pentacle energy, and it just really makes me think, like, you know what, they're doing things right. They're just putting the work in, and if there was something about them before where maybe you thought they overspent, or they were selfish with their money, or they were, I don't know, it tells me like, and there's a lot about Pentacle energy. There's something to me about finances where I keep going back to, like, if they were spending too much before, they're not anymore. They're working on this now. They're, you know, whatever it is, I just see that, but there's a goodness to them. There's a generosity. There's a very good spirit. I think they're lovely people to be around. Let's get I'm going to get a little bit more about them. I want to know more about who they are. And where they're at right now and who they are. Yeah. And then we'll figure out if they've moved on. Because I couldn't say from the top line. It seems like they're really putting the work in on themselves in a very, very good way. Okay, so we've got Mother of Cups, the Fool, and the Sun. The Sun card's it's a very obvious card of like, just overwhelming light, joy, happiness, this feeling of like everything's working out, everything's good. It's a great positive card. And it does make me feel that, and you know, just when you see the rays, like in similar cards, that I feel like the magic is there. Something is really clicking for them. I think their life is actually going quite well right now. The Fool tells me that they're excited, they're inspired, it's doing things differently. It's kind of that childish or that innocent way of approaching things. I really think they're taking this on right now. And this is like the most random card in the whole whole spread. Like I could almost say I don't understand it, because here they're taking on a very like intentionally balanced and grounded energy. And this is kind of the opposite of that. But this would tell me they're enjoying this process, that they're really liking this new direction. I think it's making them feel very inspired. I just think it's giving them kind of like a life that they didn't have before. Life is in like energy, inspiration. It's just giving them a whole new perspective, quite frankly. And I definitely think they've taken on a new perspective, and I feel like they've come out of a slump. I feel like whatever they were doing before, it wasn't serving them, it wasn't serving you, and now it's like they're changing everything. And even with the Mother of Cups, it's like, oh my God, I feel like they're upping their communication skills. They're like stepping into a kind of kinder, more nurturing energy that maybe they didn't at all have before. Maybe they were very dismissive before, or not a great communicator, or I just constantly interrupted or didn't want to hear your point of view. They are absolutely working on themselves. Have they moved on? I don't know. I still can't get the feeling if they're doing this because it's exactly what they need to do for themselves, and this is them moving on to serve themselves this way, or if they're doing this to show you. I'm not sure. I feel like they're doing this for themselves. This is so much work that they're putting in, and that I really feel like they are doing them I do feel like in a way they have moved on. It's not to say that things are over between you guys if you don't want them to, that's not it. But I do feel like they are moving on with their life. Let's put it that way. I don't know that they're moving on like, goodbye to you and your past, but something tells me that they're moving forward in a way that if you're done with them or you're over them and they know they can't get you back, or similar situations in reverse, they're laying the groundwork to be fine moving forward. But yeah, let's get 2 oracle cards here, and then we'll build down a little, because I want to know how they feel about you. So limitations inspire innovations. Great. Inflow with money. So more about money. I did get a heavy feeling up here about finances and saving versus spending, and just kind of like home stability, and limitations inspire innovations. I do think they're cutting a lot out of their life. And again, that can be everything from, I could give so many examples, but whatever they were overdoing it on, whatever they were overindulging in, or maybe vices that they were giving a little bit too much giving into, I really feel like they're cutting back. I really do feel that way. And I think that it is inspiring to them to be doing this. And with the Sun, I see that they're just very, very happy in this new habits that they're forming. And they inflow with money. And it's under the Pentacles card of like giving and just being very kind and happy. I think they're happy with their situation right now. They're probably feeling pretty confident, pretty secure. They know they're doing things differently, and they know that they're doing the right things to that point. That it makes me think they really are. They're vibing. Things are happening for them. And I don't know if when you guys were together, you had this I almost feel like you guys had this very indulgent or overly indulgent dynamic. Maybe you guys kind of like triggered each other in ways that could be from serious to not so serious. But I almost feel like your guys' dynamic was very, very heavy and intense, and you almost couldn't go on. And I think that if that's tracking, when you stopped being together, they really did a 180, a very much needed 180. I'm going to say that. Because I feel like their life was headed in a direction that if they didn't do this, it probably just wouldn't have been going in a very good direction. It would have been chaotic and maybe self-destructive. So this is a very strong, capable person, very much in command of what they want. It's weird because the feeling I get that they've moved on, it's like, I do feel like they've moved on from what you guys had. Whoever you guys were as a couple, I don't think that will ever return. There's a message here that they have changed and they're not looking back. So if you guys were to come back together or be together, I think it would look very different than the relationship you had, which might be good. You might know that and want that too. But there's something to tell me you wouldn't even want to get back together with them unless you knew that you could be different as well, that you both wouldn't, you know, enable each other in any way, or trigger each other in any way. I don't know, maybe you guys fought too much and those fights were triggering. Maybe you partied too much. Maybe you just, like I said, like you had the same vice and you overdid it. I don't know, but there's a feeling that now that you're not together, they are doing quite well, and it's intentional. They intentionally did this. And they're doing well. I hope you're doing as well as they are, because I'm very proud of them, whoever they are. But let's get a little bit about you. I want to know how you are, where are you at right now? Because I really want to know that you're doing equally as well. It's important. Daughter of Swords, 5 of Wands, and 3 of Wands. So I think you're conflicted. That's definitely the first thing I would say for the 5 of Wands. You're conflicted. I think you're contemplating a few things. And then, yeah, I think you have this kind of deep thought, curiosity, interest in them. I think you might even be like, not obsessed with them, but like you're probably so intrigued by what they're doing and how they've changed, or who this new person they're becoming is and how they did it. I just think you, and just seeing these cards, the way you're giving so much thought to it, it does make me think that you probably recognize that what they're doing was needed and for the better. And maybe, I don't know, something in this line tells me like, maybe if they knew that you supported this and you really like cared about this mission or this journey they're on, and you believed in it as well, that you guys could be together, or things could work between you. Because right now the message to me is that they're definitely moving forward. They're moving on, and that their life is taking on a different course, and they're going in that direction. And I think that if it's without you, although it probably won't be fun for them, or it you know, it's a journey for them either way, I think they'll be fine. Let's put it that way. And the Fool tells me that the Sun, just this whole path they're taking is very like, they're going to be all right. And as for you, I think you will too. I don't want you to get stuck on them. But I think, I get the feeling that if you did talk to them, if you had an opportunity to talk to them, and you let them know like how proud you are of them, how great this is, how much you support it, how much you love this for them, I could see you guys working out, but there would have to be something about that. So we've got the Hanged Man here, and we've got the, the 4 of Cups. And I feel like, I'm doing this for your line. I didn't quite say that out loud. Signs they've moved on. I feel like they are. I feel like you're in suspension right now. This could go either way for you. I really feel like you could take them back, or you could express that you wanted to be back with them, or you could move on. And I get that again with apathy. Like you're right down the middle. You're truly torn. You're contemplating if you even want them to move on or not. Like, I don't know that you even know what your preference is. That's what I'm getting out of this last line, that you're putting a lot of thought into this. You're conflicted. You're really unsure I don't know if you even would want to get back together with them, even if they did change. Because I think who they were before was a bit much, and maybe who you guys were together was even a lot much. So yeah, you definitely have to figure out what you even want, and I can't get a read on what you want at all. And usually if it's not like a hell yes, it's a hell no. So the fact that you do seem so like, conflicted or kind of like on pause about this makes me wonder, maybe you guys both need to move on. Maybe there isn't enough from you to mirror what they're doing, because they've put so much energy into this. I just don't know that you're there. And if you were to get back with them, you would have to really put a lot into it. And I don't know if that's something you're willing to do, or if it's something you want to do or can do right now. But yeah, less about you here on this bottom line, which is not making me think that you are dying to get back together. But I would say, to that point, hearing me say that yes, they're doing so good and they are moving forward and in a lot of ways moving on with their own life, probably makes you happy. Not happy, but it makes you conflicted, but ultimately I think you see that as the best thing, because I'm not getting this overwhelming notion that you're dying to get back together with them at all, actually. So yeah, that's the message in the cards here, and kind of a shorter reading, but very interesting. And I would love to hear your thoughts on this. If Rhodonite spoke to you at all, I would really love to hear about it, because this was your message. And please comment, like, subscribe, do anything you can to let me know your thoughts on this, and I would just really appreciate it. And come back again. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Hello, this is Light and Bone Tarot. Thank you so much for being here. We are doing a reading for pile 4. This is Phantom Quartz, which is incredibly beautiful. I probably would have picked this just based on the picture. I mean, these cards, they're not real crystals. They're a card, but they're the best I can do right now. And I hope this is your reading. Okay, that's why you're here, for this reading. And the last 3 readings have been so interesting. The topic is signs they have moved on. Have you moved on? Where are they? What's going on? It's been fascinating. Okay, I want to know a little bit about them. So I want to see where they're at right now. Who are they? Interesting. Very interesting. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you right now, this top line for have they moved on, that is a hard and absolute no. But not only have they not moved on, they're just in their own hell right now. This is heartbreak, this is anxiety, this is nightmares, torment. They're just in a hellacious place right now, which I feel bad about. There's nothing funny about it. And for 8 of Pentacles, I mean, you could call this patience, but I don't even know why. I just feel like in fact, I don't even think it's patience. I think it's like repetition right now. I think they're just spinning this web, and they're almost going, I don't know, they're like locking themselves in. I don't know. This card is like supposed to have a somewhat positive spin on like putting in work and just like waiting. But I actually feel like they're just waiting for you, maybe. Like, as in, no, they haven't moved on. This top line is intense. There's probably more I could even say about it, but it's so heavy. We need to get more on it, because, and I mean, based on just this top line, asking have they moved on, it would make me think if you're here, it's because you probably hurt them and you want them to move on, or you want them back and you're very apologetic. But I almost feel it's like you want to know that they've moved on, maybe. I don't know. Okay, let's get more about them, because this poor person. Okay, so the 4 of Wands, I'll take this. This is a little bit better. The 4 of Wands, we've got like community. That's great. Son of Cups. This makes me think of like, there's a romantic aspect to this card. And this can almost be like celebration. So these are positive. These actually are positive, which really doesn't make sense because this is so intense up here. So I could almost say, and it's funny because the first notion I had was that they were very much stuck. Their heart was broken and they're, anxious and in pain and all that. That's possible, or not possible. That there's absolute truth to that. But I still feel like they have this they have hope. So no, they have not moved on, because that really tells me that despite this ickiness that they're existing in, they have this, they want the romance, they want the intimacy, they want to be like a noted kind of couple. They want that celebration. They want the ceremony. They want things right now that they absolutely do not have. And so it makes me think that they have not moved on, or they've moved on and they want these things. They know they want these things now, despite the fact that they feel like this. But I don't think that's the case. I really think that they have not moved on. And I think they're hurting. I think they're in a lot of pain. And they're in that phase of pain where, like, even if someone hurt you, you would still take them back. You're like, you would still forgive them. Like you would be that person, if that's the case, that they would still be willing to forgive because they're still hurt so bad. They just want relief from that, which is very much a have not moved on scenario. Okay, so let's get a little bit more about their situation, because there's got to be some good here. Okay, so we've got well, God, I mean, could we get worse cards? Like, the Six of Cups is a sweet card. Okay, so we're going to start with the sweetness. They are finding ever so slight pleasure, right? But this isn't a pleasure. This is like a simple pleasure. They're finding a little bit of happiness. Maybe every day they're enjoying their cup of coffee a little bit more, or they are, maybe reading a good book or something. But it is a very, like, there is hope for them. They are going to come around, but I don't see this as like a pleasure in like romance or anything like that. Like, I think they are just kind of ever so slightly coming out of their funk. So this is a positive message. They're not, like crying and wallowing every minute of the day, but they've definitely been through something. Five of Cups, again, this is loss, this is sadness, this is pain emotionally, and this is this is the Five of Pentacles. This is like loss and drought and lack. I mean, they're really, I don't know if they suffer from like maybe elements of depression or something, but they've really hit a rock bottom. Whatever happened to them, they've been through it. And maybe things were compounding. Like maybe if things ended between you guys, it was because maybe other things were happening in their life. They didn't handle it well, and then you had to break up with them as a result of it. And then that was like, adding insult to injury, and then they just really hit rock bottom. I don't know that you did all this to them. And so, in fact, something tells me you didn't, because I don't think you'd be here caring so much and wanting so much for them if you did do all this to them. There's probably a lot more to it. So, yeah, but there is hope. Let's just take this as a hope card. And then I want to get a little bit about how they feel about you. Like, how are they regarding you right now? And we'll see if it tracks with the fact that I think that they still very much want to be with you in like a romantic, loved up way. We'll see. Okay, I'm going to get 2 oracle cards. You are epic, and limitations inspire innovations. So I'm just going to say yes, absolutely. Everything I said tracks. You're epic. They think the world of you. You're great. And I'm actually going to say here with the limitations inspire innovations, I think that with being without you, having all this lack and this hardship and this nothing good has entered their life, I think it actually has inspired them. And this inspiration may be a very good notion of how much they're going to change and of how good things can become for them, because it's under the most, these are 2 positive cards. It's under a pretty positive card of like coming together, recognition, this kind of ceremony. This could be romance. This could be celebrating like, an event that you would celebrate with a partner, like an anniversary or a wedding or an engagement party or whatever. Like, so I do think that what they've been through is going to help bring about some positive changes for them. Whether or not you're a part of that, you could be. I mean, if you want to be, you absolutely could be. It would seem. But yeah, no, that is, they have not moved on. Cannot stress that clear enough. And I'm not laughing. This poor person, people, whoever they are. Yeah, I want to know a little bit about you, okay? Where are you at? What are you feeling? So we've got you here for 7 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles, and death. Okay, so death is not about anyone dying. I just have to say that right now. This has nothing to do with death. Death is new beginnings. So where are you? You're building new things. I think you've moved on. That's the thing, which is so strange, because I think you're concerned for them. I think you're here because you're genuinely concerned for them. And there probably is a part of you that still really likes them and maybe even loves them. There might be a part of you that thinks like, ooh, maybe we could get together. But I just think, I don't know. I think it's too much. I think they have a heaviness to them. There's a weight to them. And I think it's too much, even if you really did love them. And I can see that because how they're handling the situation, how they feel, the way they're just, their head is like, they're so heavy. It would be a lot to take on. And I think right now what you're feeling is that you absolutely have to move away from this. You really, really have to step away. This would be a card to tell me you absolutely have moved on. The Seven of Pentacles is more of a card of like making investments. And I see this as investing time in yourself, putting work into yourself. I really see this for you. And then this is like actually doing it. This is like building things, action, growing something, starting something new, working with other people. I think you've been out and about actually doing things. There's a lot around work here, but just starting something, creating that foundation, whether it's like a new project, new job, new hobby, you've been doing something. And I really think you've moved on. Even if you don't realize you've moved on, I want you to consider that option that maybe you really have, because that's the message I'm getting in the cards. This person might not want to let you go. Let's put it that way. They might not want to let you go. This might be a very hard person to get out of your life. And and you know, the thing is, like, they haven't moved on because they're still very hurt, and they want so bad for things to work out, so bad. And they clearly have you on a pedestal. They clearly want you to know how great things could be. But I think this person has a lot of work they need to do on themselves, a lot. And it does seem like they can come out of their slump and talk a big game and like let you know how good things are. But you know, this person, it's like, I feel for them in some ways, because I think that they might mentally be going through a lot. But they could also be a toxic person. They could be, there could be something about them that they really created this situation they're in. They might have themselves to blame for it. And it might be you feeling almost like a little bit of guilt. But yeah, the cards are telling me that you're starting to do things on your own and build things for yourself, and that you indeed are moving on. They very much have not. And I don't know, God, it's like barely been 12 minutes. Let me get 2 more cards about your current situation. So yeah, I think that you've kind of stepped into this like almost magical energy. You are really making things happen for yourself. And this is under the You Are Epic card. Like, you know, you're epic. You don't need to be told that. I think you are in a huge position of like strength. Things are clicking for you. They're happening. And you're seeing things differently. There's this Daughter of Swords here. This is like a curiosity and interest, a wanting to learn new things, a wanting to get out into the world, like spread your wings, just explore, expand. This person, I believe, was holding you back. And that's just what I'm seeing. And I think if I were to keep reading, it would be more of that. It would be more of how like this person, for whatever reason, did not serve you. And I feel bad because that can't be true for everyone who's here. You know, at some point there could be thousands of people watching this video, and I can't imagine that would be the message for all of them. But I really get the message that you do need to move on. You want to. It's what your gut tells you. And I think you're actually being you're a lot better without this person. So I see that you're very much like things are happening for you. I think you're the happiest you've been in a while. And I think that this person will come into their own element of happiness. This card gives me hope. It's there. And so do these cards, but these cards are more about you, about how they feel towards you being their inspiration. I think they need to find happiness on their own. That's what I think, that they actually need to move on. So not only have they not moved on, they need to move on. I'm getting that direct message, for themselves, for you, for any other, person they bring into their life. They really need to. So I'm just going to stop this reading right here, because it feels like it's kind of intense, and I don't know where else I don't know what other questions I would ask I don't know where else to take it. And it is one of those readings where I just have this feeling, I'm just it feels right to stop it. But yeah, I would love if you have any comments, questions, anything like that. Well, actually questions, I don't know what I can answer a question, but if you have any comments, or if you would like or subscribe, I would love to hear your comments. That's what I meant to say. Would love to hear them, or any input, any criticism, anything, just let me know. Yeah, so sorry that this was so heavy, but not all my readings are. In fact, this was the only one in this pile that was. So yeah, lucky you, huh? Phantom Quartz. Embrace the change, Goodness. Okay, thank you very much. I hope to be able to read for you again. Have a great night. Bye.